Hello, dear ones. Well, today is December 19th, and it sounds like it's quite a big energetic day because there's this thing called Three-Eye Atlas that you may have heard of, maybe not, that's been talked about a lot lately. Today is the day where it is the closest to our planet Earth. And then it's going to move on to different planets. But today's the day where we are the closest to it. And if it is true, what I hear is that it is basically releasing frequencies and light codes to the solar system so that we will be impacted by that in a way that will help us step out of the old paradigm and remember who we are, who we truly are. And since we have been in this prison environment on our planet for a very long time, we have literally started fully identifying as a prisoner. And what we are imprisoned to or by is the beliefs that we cannot do things, that we are not good enough, that we don't deserve or are worthy of love and fulfillment. And this is what we have been living in for a long time. And of course, that has made it very difficult to get out of it because even though we may have felt the motivation to move into greater heights, into who we truly are, we always run into these walls or this veil that basically tells us, no, you cannot do that. You're not good enough. You don't deserve it. You're bad. You're wrong. This is what we keep bouncing up against. And what it has resulted in is that we are still here, fully identified with this false identity, this separate sense of self. Excuse me. So, again, if these frequencies that have been around for a long time, it's just that today it seems like it's more potent as well as the next few days. So, it does behoove us to take time and go inside and be still if possible. I did offer a little meditation the other day that you can listen to if you need support in that. But it is a very good time to go inside and disengage from what is out here that keeps wanting to pull us out into the world and engage, and also what is in here, of course, which keeps bombarding us with all kind of nonsense. I think I talked about it a little bit yesterday too, that the new earth is here, okay? It's always been here, but we have not been able to engage in it. We have not been able to see, hear, taste, touch, or smell it because we have been too engaged, too identified with the programming in our mind. What separates us from the new earth is our authenticity. Let me say it that way. It is our authenticity that equals the new earth. And the reason that we are not experiencing the new earth and our own authenticity is because we keep believing the programming and the emotions that the programming causes. That's what makes it difficult. But in reality, the solution is be yourself, be authentic, learn to trust who you are, what matters to you, what you want, what you long for, how your expression moves in the world and wants to move in the world. That is our authenticity. behind that even is our, of course, our divine authenticity, but that is the spark, um, the origin of it all, which is stillness, which is the void. But that doesn't mean that something can't come out of it, because it does all the time, and it does that through and as you and I. But that that original spark, as you and I, as Pernilla, or as whoever you are, that would be beautiful and loving and fulfilled if this programming didn't get in the way of it. The energy is there, the new earth is there, the frequency of the divine is here. But we are not fully embracing it and owning it and allowing it and receiving it, because we have all these programmed limiting beliefs around us and inside of us. I'm not good enough, you can't do it, what's wrong with you, nobody likes you. That is what we are experiencing instead of what is really here, who we really are. Who we really are, who you really are, who I really am, in our authenticity, in our true organic self expression, without all the reasons why we can't and shouldn't. That is the new earth. So it's not like we are going to create a whole new thing, but we are going to experience it as a whole new thing, because we are not going to live it through these veils anymore. We are going to start trusting our heart, trusting our longing, our joy, our sovereignty, meaning we're not going to do what others tell us to do unless there is a full resonance inside. We're literally stepping out of this false matrix where we were wrapped in something that is not who we are, but it feels and it felt like it was and still is for most of us. The journey into the new earth is the journey into our own heart, our own longing, our pure expression, our purified of the veil expression. That is here. And like I talked about, I think it was yesterday, you don't need to change yourself or um, work hard to become yourself. It's really accepting the fact that being authentic is it. So there's nothing to create, but there might be a lot to uncreate by not engaging in it anymore. And then we will find ourselves as the new earth, which is an experience of living through the heart as love, sovereign, empowered, joyful, fulfilled, all the things we all want. Why do we all want them? Because that is the frequency of the new earth that we are now beginning to tune into, because the false matrix imprint is collapsing, is dissolving. So that's why we're not fully identified with it as we used to be. We're still plenty identified with it, but we're also now able to feel this new earth, this new energy coming in and letting us know, oh, this is it. So the important part of all of this is that we stay here. I know I say it all the time, and it is something we all need to hear a lot because this is where we're making a transition from a very old, dense, contracted, patriarchal, um, limiting way of being. And just those qualities that are mentioned, they will do everything they can to keep us in there. So therefore, we may know about the new earth, and but it's like, well, I don't know, I don't believe it. First of all, I don't believe it. I can't do it, right? So that's what keeps pulling us back from the false matrix. And but now, because the new is coming in stronger, and let's just celebrate that today is a special day where it's closer than ever. So we need to take advantage of that. It's really present here. So doing our best to disengage from the false matrix and be curious and be open and be expectant and and basically say, yes, I don't know who and what you are. I don't know what it all means, but I know what I feel when I hear about it. That's what I want. So we must go here. There is no other way. And we do that by being authentic the best way we can. None of us are able to be 100% authentic because we are still covered in many layers where we come through where it's not fully us yet. But that shouldn't stop us to keep practicing. And it's a wonderful thing to do with other friends where you can have a wonderful conversation about, how can we be fully authentic with each other? And then probably the first thing that will come up is all the fears why we can't do it. Well, if I'm authentic, you're going to judge me, you're not going to like me. And that's why we are not authentic. And that is why we are not fully embodying and living in and as the new earth. Authenticity, who was it? There was somebody who said that recently. It will probably come to me. He said that authenticity is the highest frequency. It's higher than love. And I remember, I think I did a video on that a while ago, specifically about that, because it's kind of new for most of us to believe that if we are fully authentic, then we will, get into heaven. Then we will actually enter into the new earth. It's just going to be, there's not even an entering it. It's just not closing the doors anymore, believing we can't be authentic. We just become it. And it's beautiful. So I want to pull in a little plug for authenticity again today, that is your natural state, and your natural state is divine expression. And the divine expression is what we call the new earth. It's really the kingdom or the heaven, it's what is real, it's what is true. And then by us embracing our own authenticity, guess what? We bring heaven on earth. Voila, there is your new earth. By bringing heaven to earth, by being authentic. And since most of us are not authentic yet, but there's probably more and more of a longing to be it because it really sucks to believe we are not who we are and to pretend and hold back. It doesn't feel good. It brings a lot of tension and anxiety. So that's why it's really lovely to do it with others who also have that longing to be that. And just now, the name that it's Zack Bush. He's an MD. He talked about that a while ago, where he says that authenticity is the highest frequency. Now, why would we choose anything less than the highest frequency when the highest frequency is equals the new earth And that's what we want. I think the only way in is through our authenticity. And that, my friends, most of us need help with. Whether it's with one-on-one, you can always reach out to me if you need support in that. Whether it's in a group where you want to practice it, you want to learn. Whether it's maybe some online courses or online gatherings. You can certainly also join my online gathering, which is every first Tuesday of the month. The next will be January 6th, I think it is. Link below. So let's do this, my friends. Let's start practicing being authentic. Now, authentic is not being identified with limitations and fear and anger. That's when we are not authentic. So I guess I really need to stress that here. But we're not going to bypass it. We are going to be authentic and saying, I have fear. I still experience fear around this. I get very angry or jealous or whatever it is. We own it because then we are authentic. But we do not identify with it because then we are not authentic. And then even we might add something and pretend we are not angry. That's not being authentic, but saying like, I still have anger around this and I want to really be with it. I want to find out what this anger is trying to tell me, where I'm not living in a way so I don't need to be angry. So then that's how we start softening those layers that keeps us out of being our authentic, sovereign, divine self. It's right here. Can you feel that? It's right here. And by us resting back and be sovereign, be authentic, being still, being present, we start exuding an energy of the new earth. The more of us who can really start radiating or exuding that by just being authentic. That means if you feel a no, you don't want something, you say no, that's not for me. If you feel a yes or you do want something, you don't cover it up because maybe people won't like you if you want to say yes. You feel the yes and you just let it move. Say, this is what's important to me. This is what matters to me. Then you're in alignment with your true will, with your true sovereignty, and your true authenticity. That's where you are linked into these frequencies that are love and fulfillment itself. That's how, when we do that together, we are actually inviting in the new earth. And isn't that what we're here for? I think so. So let's, the rest of the day, let's really tune into these frequencies and soak them up. Let them soak into us and clear out the debris that has prevented us from realizing and remembering what is actually true.